Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, fellow slaves of the global plantation. The Vinny Eastwood show is outside the Auckland District Court right now, having been kicked out of the court for the suspicion of recording. They took my phone, they had a look through it. Sure enough, there were no videos, there were no audio recordings. And then they still wouldn't let me inside the court. Barb, one of Billy TK's other supporters, also get kicked out because she raised her eyebrows or something. So pretty intense discrimination against those of us in court today. So after the prosecution had ended their case, I was going to go back in to see Billy's lawyer defend him and whatnot, so I haven't been able to be there for that. But based upon the prosecution's case, I was kind of having pretty bad feelings about it, and then everybody reassured me Billy's lawyer will turn things around. So hopefully that's what's going on inside there. Billy made a post on social media a couple of days ago saying that the judge is very anti-him, a very hostile judge, and has since recused himself and said that he should be more forgiving and what have you, but quite possibly based upon that social media post has affected the judge's behaviour and tolerance of his supporters. Now, 2 of the 8 charges that he is facing have been dropped. So now he currently faces about 6 charges of taking money and not logging it correctly and so on and so forth. Under New Zealand election laws, there's a significant amount of rigmarole that you need to go through concerning the donations of monies and things of that nature. The prosecution alleges that Billy knew all these things and he engaged deliberately in deception and what have you, but he of course maintains his innocence. And personally, from my dealings with Billy's, he's always been a pretty straight up guy. He rubs people the wrong way and then they come after him. That's sort of my own personal opinion about Billy, having known him since the election when this alleged offence occurred. And so now we're waiting on the trial, and what's been very tough, I think, for Billy is not getting any sunlight. He has to come in the court early in the morning and go into the holding cells, and then during the court recesses and things of that nature he has to go back into those holding cells. So it's a bit of a sad thing and very terrible prosecution that Billy's facing here, and I don't know what the charges exactly are or what the punishment could be if he was found guilty. They've got a dozen jurors in there who the prosecution and the defence are both trying to sway one way or the other, so we won't know the outcome right at this moment, but we will possibly know it later today at about 5:30 or so when Billy's let out of the cells. So you'll probably be able to hear from him on his page when he goes live later tonight, if in fact that's what he's doing, or if he's too exhausted to do that. I'd completely understand, I'm sure we all would. So yeah guys, it's a sad day for freedom in New Zealand, where on the suspicion of recording you can be kicked out of a court of record. You know, it seems very corrupt, this court system, personally, and I'm not talking about this case in particular though, or this judge or this prosecutor or anything. I'm just talking about the many years of activism that I've engaged in and seen what the courts do to people. There is no court of record officially in the New Zealand courts, and in addition to that there's no register of interest, so if a judge has conflicts of interest they're not required to register those, and there's no independent commission against corruption in New Zealand like there is in Australia. So it is basically the Wild West here in the New Zealand court system, and it's very, very sad to see, and I'm quite resigned to the fact